we were discussing about diffusion probably with convection in a system in which there is a homogeneous chemical reaction taking place. So, the problem which we have attempted in the last class is about a gas which gets dissolved in a liquid and then it starts its diffusion towards the other end of it. So, it could be a solid container in which a liquid B is kept and A gets slowly dissolved at the top, and the A molecules, as they start moving towards the bottom of the container, it reacts with B, therefore destroying A in the process. And we wanted to find out what is the distribution of concentration of A in the solution, which is in the solution of B which is kept. So, we wanted to know what is the concentration distribution of A in the liquid. And of course, the maximum concentration would be at the top where A gets dissolved, and as we move progressively downwards, the concentration of A will slowly get diminished. So, since it is a homogeneous reaction, the term would appear in the governing equation itself as a source or a sink term. So, if we take a slab of the liquid and the amount of A in moles or in mass, let us say in moles, amount of moles of A coming in at the top of the slab and the amount of A that goes out. So, in minus out, and since it is a reaction in which A gets consumed, so minus of the depletion should be equal to 0 at steady state. So, in minus out plus or minus generation or depletion would be equal to 0. And we assumed the order of the reaction. So, the amount of A that comes in, the one that goes, so the amount of A that comes in was Na, which is the molar flux, multiplied by S, where S is the cross sectional area of the assumed shell. So, this is what we have done in that class. So, the amount of A which comes in, which is NaZ evaluated at some location Z, times S, where S is the cross sectional area, minus the flux evaluated at the other end of the assumed slab, multiplied by the same cross sectional area, plus or minus generation or depletion, and the depletion term was simply K1. Note the triple prime, which denotes that it is a reaction which is homogeneous in nature. So, K1 triple prime represents a homogeneous reaction, and since its first order, it is going to be K1 triple prime Ca times S, where S is the cross sectional area, and delta Z, where the thickness of the assumed shell is delta Z. So, dividing both sides by delta Z, we got this as the differential equation, governing equation, and after putting in the expression of NaZ using Fick's law and assuming that it is a one dimensional diffusion only case where A diffuses in the Z direction. So, this was the form of the equation, and the two boundary conditions that we have used were at Z equals 0, that means at the liquid air interface the concentration of A is maintained at Ca0, where Ca0 is could be the interface solubility, the solubility of A in the liquid. And at the other end, what we have done is that at Z equals L, that means at the other end of this system, since this layer is impervious to the A molecules, so the flux of A at that point would be equal to 0, and therefore dCA dZ would be 0. So, it acts like an adiabatic wall in the case of heat transfer. So, the concentration distribution was obtained in cos hyperbolic form, where the constant Ba is nothing but this, and the average concentration is obtained by averaging over the entire length of the liquid pole. So, between 0 to L, and dividing it by L. So, this when plugged in here would result in the average concentration of A inside the liquid pool of B, where this B1 is simply a constant. What we are going to do in this class is we are going to look at what would be the form of the governing equation and the relevant boundary conditions if we have diffusion with a heterogeneous reaction. So, we can either have a slow reaction or have a fast reaction. So, first initially what we are going to do, we are going to do with a fast heterogeneous reaction. So, this would be our problem 1 and the slow heterogeneous reaction would be our problem 2. So, the first thing is what we are going to do, we have a very fast reaction in which the product, the moment it reaches the heterogeneous surface, the heterogeneous reaction, and heterogeneous, a perfect example of heterogeneous reaction is a catalytic reaction, where you have catalyst particles present in it. So, a species will travel through the film, the thin film which surround thin film of a gas which surrounds this catalyst pellet, reaches the surface, and immediately upon reaching the surface, the reaction, the instantaneous reaction takes place and whole of A gets consumed, gets converted to some products. But as it diffuses through the film, through the thin film, nothing happens to A. So, it is a diffusion only that is taking place in the thin film without its getting converted to any product. The conversion comes only at a specific location in the system, that means on the catalyst pellet. Since there is no distributed generation or distributed depletion of A as it travels through this thin film, the reaction term does not appear in the governing equation. The governing equation will be considering only a diffusion. It is a diffusion only case when we have a thin film. The surface reaction will come as a boundary condition while solving the governing equation. So, we will see that, and the example that we are going to do is that of a catalytic reactor. You all know that catalytic reactors are added to cars in order to convert the toxic gases, like say, so the gases, and to convert them from the lower oxides to higher oxides of carbon, nitrogen and so on. So, carbon monoxide coming in to this catalytic reactor. So, this is a catalytic reactor. Example could be in a car where we have a gas A which comes in and there are catalyst particles distributed everywhere, where A gets converted to, let us say, A2, and then what you are going to get out of this is gases A and A2. So, the reaction that takes place is two molecules of A will react on the catalyst surface to produce one molecule of A2. So, this is the reactant, this is the product. Now, these catalytic particles at times it's fundamentally it's easier to handle if we assume that the catalyst surface looks something like this. So, this is the catalyst surface on which the reaction takes place. So, this is the catalytic surface which is surrounded by a thin stagnant film. So, this is at Z equals delta and this is at Z equals 0. So, what you have here is then A molecules are moving over this stagnant film that surrounds the catalyst surface. So, A starts diffusing in this direction, the reaction from A to A2 takes place on the surface and A2 starts diffusing back towards the bulk stream of the gas mixture which is going. So, here you have A plus A2. So, this is the age of a hypothetical gas film which exists around each particle, or in other words, the conceptual modeling tells us that each particle is surrounded by a stagnant gas film through which A diffuses to reach the catalyst surface. It gets converted into the product A2 and then A2 starts moving back its journey back towards the bulk flow, where both A and A2 gets carried away towards the exit of the catalyst reactor. So, this is a simplified modeling of the catalytic reactor that's taking place, that we are attempting here, and we are trying to find out what would be the concentration profile of the reactant A in the stagnant gas film. And once we have the concentration profile, then we would be able to convert that, we would be able to deduce from that what is the conversion rate of A to A2, and that would help us in designing such a catalytic reactor. So, that is the practical example use of such a modeling exercise, and we would like to do that over here. So, we also know that for each molecule, for 1 mole of A, 1 mole of A2, 2 moles of A moves in the plus Z direction. So, for 1 mole of A2 moving in the minus Z direction, we have 2 moles of A which is moving in the plus Z direction. So, 2 moles of A coming and reacting over here to forming A2. So, 2 moles of A has to move in the plus Z direction for 1 mole of A2 to move in the minus Z direction, and at steady state the rate at which A comes in. So, 2 moles of A comes in and the rate at which A2 moves out must be equal. So, in other words, what we can say is NA2Z, that is the molar flux of A2 in the Z direction, must be equal to minus half of the molar flux of A in the Z direction. So, this is a direct result of the stoichiometry of the reaction, in which 2 moles of A reacts to form 1 mole of A2. So, therefore, in flux term, with the introduction of the appropriate sign, I can write that Na2Z is equal to minus half of NaZ. And starting with the formula that Na is equal to minus C dAA2, this is the diffusion coefficient of A in A2 times dXA dZ plus XA times NaZ plus Na2Z. So, this is the Fick's law, and here we know what is the relation between NaZ and Na2Z from here. So, substituting the expression of Na2Z from this to over here, what we can get is NaZ equals minus C, the diffusion coefficient of A in A2, by 1 minus half of XA multiplied by dXA dZ. So, this is now the correct form of the flux of A in the Z direction, and the stoichiometry of the reaction gives me the relation between Na and Na2. So, this is my flux reaction. As before, I can think of a thin shell over here, and Na is coming at NaZ at Z, and the one that goes out would be NaZ evaluated at Z plus delta Z. Since no reaction is taking place in here, the equation would be simply in minus out at steady state would be equal to 0. So, what I would get out of this is NaZ multiplied by the cross sectional area of this assumed slice evaluated at Z minus NaZ at this point evaluated at Z plus delta Z times S is going to be equal to 0. So, in minus out is equal to 0, since no reaction is taking place in here, reaction is only taking place on the catalyst. So, you can divide both sides by delta z, and the governing equation out of this would simply be equal to d dz of NAZ is equal to 0. So, this is the governing equation for the modeling exercise which we are doing, and when you plug in the expression for NAZ, it would simply be, when we plug in this expression for NAZ into this, what we would get is d dx of 1 by 1 minus half of x a times dx a dz will be equal to 0. Had this been a case of diffusion only situation, that is only A is moving towards the z towards the catalyst surface by diffusion, only by diffusion. In that case, the second term, that means this term on the right hand side, this term on the right hand side of the species balance equation, this entire term would be 0, and Na would simply be equal to the diffusive flux. So, if Na is reaching the catalyst surface by a diffusion only process, then your governing equation, this entire term 1 by 1 minus half x a would not be present. So, you would simply get d2 x a by dz square equal to 0, and you would get a linear profile of A in such a system. So, for a diffusion only case, this equation would get transformed to d2 x a by dz square to be equal to 0, and this can be solved. So, once you solve this equation, the solution of this equation is going to be 1 of 2 ln 1 minus half of x a is equal to C1 z plus C2, and the boundary conditions 1 and boundary conditions 2, the 1 is going to be at z equals 0. That means, this is my catalyst surface, this is z equals 0, and this is z equals delta, and this direction we have the z. So, at z equals 0, x a, the mole fraction of A is some known value x a to be equal to x a 0. So, one condition that we have for the film is that the concentration at the outer edge of the film, the bulk flow is known to me. So, the concentration at z equals 0 is some known value x is 0. But it is interesting to see what would be the boundary condition at the other end, that is on the catalyst surface. As I have mentioned before, on the catalyst surface, A instantaneously gets converted to A2. So, that means on the catalyst surface there cannot be any free A present, or in other words, the concentration of A on the catalyst surface must be equal to 0, which is true only if the reaction rate is very high, or it's an instantaneous reaction. So, A immediately gets converted to A2. So, for such condition, the concentration of A on the catalyst surface would be equal to 0, and therefore, the second boundary condition in this case would be at z equals delta x a is equal to 0. So, this is true since we have an instantaneous reaction. It is an instantaneous or very fast reaction. So, x a is going to be equal to 0. So, when you plug these two boundary conditions and evaluate C1 and C2, what you would get as the final form is 1 minus half of x a is equal to 1 minus half of x a 0 to the power 1 minus z by delta. So, this is going to be the distribution of mole fraction of A in the thin film as a function of z, as a function of the thickness of the film which surrounds each particle, and the concentration of A in the free stream condition. This is fine, but we are probably more interested to know what is the molar flux, of A through the film. So, the molar flux of A through the film, and we understand that NaZ is constant. So, this essentially gives you NaZ is constant. Since NaZ is constant, you can evaluate NaZ at Z equals 0 or Z equals delta, it does not matter, or any point in between. So, your NaZ would be equals, from the previous equation, d diffusion coefficient of A into 1 minus half of x A from our previous relation times dxa dz, and this dxa dz evaluated from this would simply be equals twice the concentration, the total concentration of both A and A2 present in the film, the diffusion coefficient times delta logarithmic of 1 by 1 minus half of x A. So, this is the rate at which A is approaching, A is moving toward from in this film towards the surface. Now, the reaction A giving A2 is simply a dimerization reaction. 2 moles of A twice A giving A2, that was the reaction which we have used. So, it is essentially 2 molecules of A, 2 moles of A are forming a dimer which is A2. So, since at steady state, whatever be the rate at which the molar flow rate of A coming towards the surface, that gets converted into A2. So, NaZ can also be written as this is the local rate of dimerization. So, the flow of A, the molar flux of A is essentially the rate at which A is going to form the product, which is a dimerization reaction. So, this is going to be the local rate of dimerization of A into the product. So, this is a concrete example of what happens when we have a reaction that is taking place on a catalyst surface on a heterogeneous reaction. A slight variation to this problem can be given if instead of an instantaneous reaction, if it is a slow reaction, that is the rate of conversion of A to A2, the rate constant is not infinite, it is finite. So, therefore, the rate at which A gets converted to A2, it has a finite rate. So, it is dictated by a rate expression with a rate constant which is not infinite. So, the next step, the next extension of this problem can be if we need to find out what is going to be the profile and what is going to be the rate of dimerization if instead of a very fast reaction we are dealing with a slow reaction. Everything else will remain same. Since no reaction is taking place in the bulk, therefore, the governing equation will remain unchanged. So, therefore, d dz of NaZ will still be 0, that is your governing equation. The expression for NaZ in terms of Fick's law, that will also remain the same since the stoichiometry is same. So, for each 2 moles of A coming towards the catalyst surface, 1 mole of A2 has to travel in the reverse direction. Okay. So, that relation will also remain unchanged. So, my governing equation will remain unchanged. The expression by which NaZ can be replaced in the governing equation will also be the same. The only difference that we would see is what is going to be the boundary condition on the catalyst surface. Previously, we took the boundary condition on the catalyst surface to be that the concentration of A on the catalyst surface is 0. No A can exist on the surface, but since it has a finite rate of reaction right now, so we have to take that into account in our description of the second boundary condition of the problem. So, the next problem, extension of this problem that we are going to do is what is going to happen if it is a slow reaction. So, the problem that we are going to do is the diffusion with a slow heterogeneous reaction. So, let us say that the rate at which A disappears on the surface is given by this rate expression. Remember note the double prime that I have used for the rate constant. So, double prime is for heterogeneous reactions, and as I mentioned before, triple prime is for homogeneous reactions. So, this is a double prime which is conventionally used for this case. So, the governing equation will remain the same as I have said before, dz of NZ to be equal to 0, and the boundary condition 1 will remain unchanged, that is at z equals 0, x A is equal to some known concentration, some known mole fraction x is 0. The boundary condition 2, which is at z equals delta, previously the boundary condition that we have used is x A to be equal to 0. That what I am going to use here is x A is N A Z divided by C K 1 double prime. At steady state, the flux of A coming towards the catalyst surface. So, if this is the catalyst surface, the A which is coming, the NAZ, the flux of A which is coming towards the catalyst surface, and it is getting consumed on the catalyst surface. So, the rate at which A comes in towards the catalyst surface must be equal to the rate at which it gets converted into products. So, if this does not happen, so the amount of A that comes in from the bulk towards the catalyst surface and the rate at which it gets converted to products, if these two rates are not equal, then what is going to happen is that the concentration of A on the catalyst surface will keep on changing with time. So, if you have more of A coming towards the surface than getting converted to A2, then with time the concentration of A on the catalyst surface will increase. And if less of A is coming than the rate at which it gets converted, then the amount of A, concentration of A molecules on the catalyst surface will decrease with time. Both of them violate our steady state assumption, that is, the concentration of A or A2 is a function only of Z, but it is not a function of time. So, a steady state can be attained only when the flow, the molar flow of A towards the catalyst surface is equal to the rate at which it gets converted into the products. So, therefore, equating the flux to the reaction rate, the flux of A in the Z direction to the reaction rate, we can write the condition at Z equals delta, the equality of the rate of movement of A to that of the reaction rate. This is the condition that one can write, and when you solve this and the governing equation will remain the same. So, when you plug the expression of NAZ exactly like the previous one into this and integrate and use the conditions, boundary conditions, the final form that you are going to get is so, this is going to be the expression, for expression for the concentration distribution of A in the z direction. Just compare this with the expression which we have obtained when it was an instantaneous reaction. So, this is for a slow reaction and this is for an instantaneous reaction. So, compare these two and you would see that this term appears additional, additional term appears in the expression of the concentration distribution of the mole fraction, concentration distribution or the variation of mole fraction as a function of z. So, comparing these two, you would see that this is the additional term that comes because of the nature of the reaction being slow as opposed to instantaneous as in the previous case. So, you can evaluate NaZ as we have done before, and this NaZ, the expression for NaZ would simply be equal to twice C, the diffusion coefficient of A2 divided by delta ln of 1 minus half NaZ by C K1 double prime divided by 1 minus half XA0. So, you can again see the difference between these two. Okay. So, this term remains the same, this term remains the same, but this one over here, the denominators are same, but the numerator is different. So, this is the rate of conversion of A in terms of the other parameters. Since this is logarithmic, if this term is small, the logarithm of the numerator can be expressed in a Taylor series, and considering only the first term, slight simplification of this equation can be obtained, which would give you NaZ to be equals twice C d AA2 diffusion coefficient by delta 1 plus diffusion coefficient divided by K1 double prime delta ln of 1 by 1 minus half XA0. This is the form which you would obtain when you take a Taylor series expansion of this. Okay. So, again compare the result which we have obtained with the result that we obtained before, that is the local rate of dimerization for a fast reaction is simply twice C d dA2 by delta. So, we have this over here, but this is the additional term that we are getting since our reaction rate is finite. Had this been an infinite reaction rate signifying that it is an instantaneous reaction, then this whole term would be 0 and this expression would revert to whatever expression we have obtained for the case of very fast reaction. So, it is always better to see that in the limiting case, when the value of K1 is very large, whether or not this expression becomes the same, identical with the expression which we have derived based on an infinite or very large reaction rate, instantaneous reaction. So, this is consistent with our understanding, and the dimensionless group dAA2 by K1 double prime delta, which is this has to be dimensionless, and this dimensionless, it describes the effect of surface reaction rate on the overall diffusion reaction process. The previous result which we have obtained for the case of first reaction was a diffusion which is taking place, but here the process is governed not only by diffusion, also by the reaction, the rate of reaction which is taking place on the catalyst surface, and the term, the group, the dimensionless group which is responsible, which is an indicator of the effect of reaction in this diffusion process, is essentially what we have in the denominator, the diffusion coefficient of A in A2 divided by K1 double prime delta. Because if we did not have this, if this is equated to 0, then the expression becomes identical to this one. The expression becomes this expression becomes identical to this one. So, therefore, the dimensionless form d dA2 by K1 double prime delta, it denotes the effect of surface reaction on the overall diffusion reaction process. So, what we have done here is, and whatever I have taught in this class, it is also available in Bird-Stewart-Lightfoot. As I told you before, in this part of the mass transfer, treatment of mass transfer, I am following the textbook Bird-Stewart-Lightfoot. Whenever I am going to do something different from another book, I'll let you know. But all the examples of mass transfer that we have analyzed so far are given in your textbook Transport Phenomena by Bird, Stewart and Lightfoot. So, what we saw is that using a shell mass balance and with the appropriate boundary conditions, incorporation of reaction rates as a source term in the governing equation for a homogeneous reaction or as a boundary condition in heterogeneous reaction, we could obtain the profile, concentration profile or the mole fraction profile of any component as a function of position. And the heterogeneous reaction that we have analyzed, we took two extreme cases, one when the reaction is instantaneous and second when the reaction has a finite rate, that means it is a slow reaction. So, this probably has given us enough information for us to have a tutorial in the next class in which we will solve some of the problems of mass transfer of similar nature, but with slightly more complexity.